Alright guys, I showed you all the pretty boys and now it's time to show you behind the scenes. Let's roll. Oh, what is going on here? Is this like another dimension in my closet? Oh, what do we have here? Ooh. And here we are. Here is the madness behind the madness. I turned off the fan because I realized after watching the initial tour video that the fans were a little bit loud. So yes, this is my grow tent. Here is the name brand. This ain't sponsored shit, so you know, it's just good shit. So basically when you have more plants than you know what to do with in a tiny studio apartment in NYC, you are going to inevitably have plants that are not looking their best. And not everything in here is rehabbing. Most of the stuff is, or I'm growing it out, or I'm propagating. But some of the stuff in here I'm simply rotating because I have plants that I have out in my main space. I simply don't have enough space to fit all of them. And I don't want my main space to be too cluttered. So inevitably I do have to put some of the nicer babies in here. But nevertheless, it is a mess. So, I mean, where do we start? Like, where the heck do we start? I have to do a little bit of maintenance in here, so I figured let's just go through and see if there's any updates, any exciting things happening in here. So we have some more brownie eye babies. Too many. There's one, where is it? Oh, there's one right there that might be variegated. It might just be, like, chlorotic. But you know what? You never know. That's as close as I can get. Right here, we have a gorgeous Philodendron Paraso Verde, and I find that with these, you put it in super high light, it will give you this beautiful muddled variegation right here. Look at this. This is a plant with stable variegation, so you don't have to worry about it reverting or anything. You will see specimens that look pretty much entirely green, and that's okay because I actually got this as a one-leaf cutting and it was all green. And all you have to do is just let it grow out, give it very bright light. So just to show you the difference, these leaves were grown in very bright light. I then moved this to a lower light area outside of my main space and it put out this green leaf that is considerably smaller. So I put it back in here just because I want to grow it out. I want to let it trail, just kind of let it do its thing. If you watched my main tour, then you will know that I prefer not to let my plants climb. I like them trailing. I think they look nice. I think it offers a different visual than what people are used to seeing. Speaking of hanging plants, we have a Philodendron Gloriosum. This is the Verde version. I'm not really sure if there's an official term. I think it's more just marketing than anything else. This is a crawler. It is a terrestrial plant. It is not epiphytic. However, sometimes you will see specimens in people's collections crawling out of the pots. Inevitably, the leaves will start to get smaller because it needs to root out over here. But you know what? Life is about experiments, guys. Experimenting with life, so I'm going to see if I can get this thing to trail and keep its leaf size. I think it got underwater. There's a little bit of chlorotic damage on the leaves here, but it has a new one coming in right then. It looks pretty decent sized, so we shall see. Down here we have a ton of little propagations and little stumps and this and that and those and these. We have over here a variegated Monstera Atomsonia that literally had 4 or 5 leaves, and then a few weeks ago it decides to do this crap and I lost all the leaves except one. So, and now it's doing it again. So like, I don't know if this is a fungal infection. I have no idea what this is. The variegation is getting brown and I don't know why. So I have it in here just because, you know what, I'm sick of it. I'm just gonna keep it in here for now until it decides to get its life together. Way back there I have some dormant Baobab trees. You know those big trees in Madagascar and Africa? Like the one Rafiki lives in? That's what those are, baby. They're not doing that well, but you know what? They are dormant right now. They go dormant about half the year, and I have not watered them for quite a while, and those leaves are just kind of staying on there. So once I see it start to pop off, I'll give it more light and start to water it again. Over here we have a very strange Monstera Atomsoniae mint. So this is a variegated Atomsonia, but it is a different type. So the variegation is stable, unlike this bitch over here. So look at this leaf. Isn't that amazing? It's so weird and funky. The leaves usually come in a little bit wonky looking, but I mean, this one is just... Look at that. It's like a... What is that? And here's the newest one coming in. It's looking a little bit better, but this is a plant that comes in unapologetically wacky. Even this leaf here that has a much more deliberate shape is still very wacky looking, to say the least. I have chopped and propped this thing many times for trades and just selling cuttings and things like that, so this is one of those plants that I have definitely made a return on. And it's just one of those plants that I keep around because as long as it holds a value, I'm going to continue chopping and propping. Oh, it's got some little white roots there on the tip, do you see? I want to get some moss up there. I want them to come in contact with moisture. I want to catch those roots so they don't dry up. There we go. It honestly makes chopping and propping so much easier, guys, when you have roots to work with. Oh my god, look at this thing. Look at this way down here. This right here is Philodendron Cherichii. Now, I got this imported from Equigenera, and you know what, guys? Philodendron don't ship that well, and you're basically taking that risk whenever you get imports. So it is what it is. When these things are mature, they are gorgeous. They have beautiful, big, fat, corrugated leaves. And look at this thing that I have. It is just, it's doing very well, obviously. Look at these little leaves. I love it. The problem is, look at how little roots it has. It has like, what, 3 roots? And they're just not long enough for me to convert this thing to leca or even to perlite. I mean, honestly, I'm probably going to have to move this to perlite at some point because I don't think leca will sustain these roots. I think these roots are just too small. So right now, it's just, it's totally hydro, guys. It's totally hydro. Isn't this thing so gnarly? It's so funny, but you know what? Out of a huge, big, beautiful plant, this was the only node that didn't have rot. But you know what, guys? It's still alive, and I really need to change that water. I will eventually. I got this little stump from a friend. This is Antherium Besseii AFF. So AFF means affinis. It's short for affinis, which from what I understand basically means that it's an unspecified species or an undeclared or an unnamed species. And when it says AFF Besseii, they're saying it is similar to a true Besseii, but not the exact same species, if that makes sense. This guy, I'm just gonna spray it. He is a little bit dry. Honestly, Besseii AFFs are so beautiful. I don't even know if I've seen a true Besseii. I want to say the Besseii AFF is where it's at. So let's see, what do we have here, guys? What do we have here? We have a little bit of a root or a growth point there facing down. It's one of those chunks where like it puts out a growth point and then it dries up. Puts out a growth point, then dries up. So let's see, do we have anything exciting here? Not yet. No rot though. It's always good to feel the tips. You want to make sure there's no mush. You want to make sure nothing is soft. You want it to be hard as a rock. I'm just going to keep spraying it here because I'm actually going to be going away for a few days. So I want to make sure nothing dries out while I'm away. And it looks like the moisture is going all the way down. Lovely. Oh, and there are the roots right there. Come on, girl. You got this. You got this. This is an Antherium Lineal Lotum, and it is similar to the Propinquam in the sense that it has a really nice corrugated leaf and very, very thin in texture. And is that a spider mite? No, it's not. But yeah, this guy's been on the struggle bus a little bit, taken a while to grow out, but the flower is very interesting. It's not so spectacular, but upon closer inspection, it actually has a purple spadix, which I think is really interesting. Now let's see, we got some Antherium Warocquianum chunks here. Ooh. All right, let's see what we got here. Do we have anything? Do we have, oh, guys. Are y'all seeing this? That is pretty exciting. So this is the stem where a leaf used to be. It's got some roots there, baby. And it's doing well. So like this is really exciting stuff. Doesn't look like much, guys. Can you focus? Thank you. That's all I ask in life, just for you to focus. We have another chunk over here of Warocquianum that is in water. Let's take it out and have a look-see. Uh-oh. Who's popping off? I think it's you, sir. And we got a root right there. That is amazing. And I'm just going to check the bottom of the stem for rot. That is nice and firm and hard. Good. So I'm going to stick that right back into the water. Here we have a really cool plant that I also got in a trade. This is a Scott Cohen Antherium Dresslary. And right now it's not in the sexiest shape. There is a little bit of crisping, especially on the new leaf here. But, I mean, that iridescence is gorgeous. The leaves have a lot of potential. I mean, look at that one. That's beautiful. And when the new leaf comes in, it's starting to harden off now, but you can just see that beautiful metallic color. And all these white roots here are new roots that it has been growing since I got it. I only got it maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I have not had it very long, guys, and it has not put out a leaf yet in my care. So hopefully when it puts out that first leaf, to be honest, guys, I'm probably going to cut off a couple of leaves, and then when it puts out another leaf, I'll cut off a few more leaves. I'd rather have like 2 or 3 good, nice, sexy leaves than 7, 8, 9 crappy leaves at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? That is a very controversial thing to say because there's a lot of people out there who say, no, don't cut off the leaves. It's energy for the plant. The plant can use the leaves for energy. And that is true. So when a plant is on the struggle bus, I am not going to prune any leaves off. So until this plant starts putting out, I would say at least 2 leaves, I'm going to keep all these leaves on because even though these leaves may not look the sexiest, they are still very much providing for the plant. This is a fully rooted bottom cut of an Antherium that I got in a trade. So as you can see when I got it, the growth tip was cut off, but that's okay because it is fully rooted and it was originally in soil in an aeroid mix when I got it. But now I'm converting it to moss. I personally find growing things in moss to be much easier. I'm just more comfortable doing it than soil. I find that moss is much easier to tell when it is getting dehydrated, when plants need to be hydrated, when plants need fertilizer, and all that stuff. And aeroids grow so well in moss. Whew, I'm gonna be honest, guys, this Antherium carries quite a bit of baggage. It caused quite a bit of controversy on one of our local plant groups. So basically, the previous owner told me that this was a Dock Block Red Crystallinum. Dock Block is a very prominent Antherium hybridizer. Anyone who is into collecting Antheriums has probably heard of that name or that term Dock Block. And he is in partnership with Tezula Plants, which is another very prominent rare plant seller. And I actually reached out to Tezula to ask them, hey, can you help me ID this plant? And turns out that Tezula actually went ahead and forwarded my question to Dr. Block himself, and he gave me a call. And when I posted about the call on Facebook, administrators and like group moderators were calling me a liar and saying, Dr. Block did not call you, stop lying. And yeah, like some fists were thrown basically. And I'm no longer in that group. And he basically just said, listen, Jake, I don't want to give you a really long word salad of an email trying to ID this plant. Let me just help you break it down so we can figure this out. And we did. And he knows his babies. He's one of the OGs in the plant game. And with his help and Tezula, that the ID of this plant is Antherium Zara, which was formerly named Antherium Dock Block, crossed with Antherium magnificum, F2. And F2 means second generation. So not the first generation, not the first batch of seedlings, but the second batch. Obviously, I am very new to the super bougie Antherium game, so a lot of this is very new to me, and I was just over the moon, ecstatic and grateful that Dr. Block personally reached out to me and talked to me for an hour. We talked for like an hour, and he enlightened me on so many different things, what to look for in Antheriums, how to pick out Antheriums, how to pick out good genes, and the history behind it, and just all this fabulous stuff. So, Dr. Block, I know you're not even watching this, because I know you're very busy, but thank you. Ooh, this right here is a plant that really is not rehabbing, and it's very presentable. As you can see, it has some decorative twigs that I put in there. I just have it in here just for space reasons. This is Philodendron Florida Beauty. This is another fully rooted bottom cut, which I then converted to moss. So fully rooted when I got it, and by the way, I got this in a trade. And it's got a nice growth point right there coming in. So fingers crossed, the variegation's good. We'll see. Not everything in here is thriving. So this bitch right here, if there's a bitch that is more of a bitch than the Queen Antherium to me, it's this one right here. Magnificum crossed with Marinense. Very interesting leaf shape. Unfortunately, it just doesn't want to grow for me. It has a growth point here finally, and it does have some new roots coming in there and all around there, but it has been literally half a year and it has done jack. So hopefully this summer we will get something. But you know what? Just like the Philodendron 69686 that I was telling you about in my previous video, the very last plant that I actually showed you, you just gotta hold on to your stumps, man. Hold on to your stumps, hold on to your propagations if you can, because they just might surprise you. Right here, got some propagations of Philodendron Gloriosum, which is a cross between Gloriosum and Melanochrysum. And the mature leaf is a little bit darker than a Gloriosum. The veins are not quite as prominent, and it is a climber, not a crawler like the Gloriosum. It's a climber like the Milano. The leaf is very similar to a mature Melanochrysum. Not quite as long, but it grows twice as fast. Much more rewarding than any Melanochrysum, in my not so humble opinion. This is a sad one. This is my one and only palm. This is a Kentia Palm. It's actually like 12 little palms in there. And do you see all those nubs? Those are all leaves that I had to cut within the last week, because literally out of nowhere, this thing just started to decline. I want to say, I don't remember for sure, but I think I put some Osmocote fertilizer in it, and yeah, big no-no. I want to say I put Osmocote in not too long ago. If I did, I did it mindlessly. I was like, oh, you probably want some. No. I spent 2 years growing this thing out. Any of you that have palm trees know they grow so painfully slow. It took me 2 years to grow this out from, and it probably grew twice in size, all these little palms together, and I'm just so disheartened that I fucked it up. Because, I mean, look at these fronds that it put out. Oh, it was doing so well, and now it's like a skeleton of its former self. It's really a shame. I think it's almost done freaking out. This leaf has gotten all dried up. This leaf is a new leaf that's gotten all dried up. Oh, and look at that. That was the last leaf. So this one might even be dead. I don't know. I just hope that they put out new leaves, and I just hope that I can grow this back out. Yeah, this leaf is gonna go. I flushed it out. I put some fresh soil in, and yeah, I just tried to rinse out any of the Osmocote that I could just to get it out of there, just so this thing had a fighting chance. I mean, it was doing so well. Ugh. Broken dreams, but yeah, that's a little depressing. So I have to put it in here so I don't look at it every day and go, ugh. On to something much more exciting and positive. It might not look like much, but this here is Antherium Luxurians. Look at the belate leaf there. I got this for mad cheap. These things go for quite a bit of money as of recording this. Fortunately, somebody sold this to me for hella cheap, and I am very happy about that. If you look down here, guys, look at all those new white roots coming in. It is establishing very well, and I just noticed, look, oh, do you see that? Do you see that? Oh, damn. It's already putting out a new leaf. And honestly, once this new leaf comes in, this ugly leaf is going in the garbage. This is a beautiful Philodendron Majestic, Sodoroid crossed with Verrucosum. This is the biggest one that I have, and I'm a little disheartened because I believe it got some sort of fungal infection. I don't know if you can see on the back of the leaf. Do you see the discoloration there? Yeah. And then down here, do you see those spots? So I have been spraying it, and I've been keeping it in here. It doesn't seem to be viral. Maybe I shouldn't have it in here, but it's still growing, guys. It has a new leaf right here, and it looks like it's gonna be huge. So fingers crossed this guy makes a comeback. The leaf patterning is amazing, guys. It's beautiful. It's such a stunner. And the back is a little bit of a blush, which is a trait from the Verrucosum. Here's a gorgeous little Philodendron Gloriosum, even though it has a little dead leaf there. It's dripping a little bit because I just watered it. Has 2 growth points. The secondary growth point is starting to activate, which is very nice. They call this the dark form or the Ecuadorian form because the leaf is a little bit darker and has a much more pronounced veining than this one here, as you can see. Here is an awesome plant that I recently got, and I forgot the name. It's an Antherium. I'll put the name on the screen. It's really awesome, and I looked up online that these things get really cool inflorescences that are long and red. They're fabulous, and look at this leaf, guys. The leaf feels a little funky. It's like not quite suede, not quite leathery. It's like some days it feels suede, some days it feels leathery. It's very strange. And it is a very thin leaf, but look at that leaf right there. That is gorgeous. I want to give you guys a better look at this leaf. Look at the gorgeous iridescence. It's one of those species that not a lot of people know about. I just saw this chilling in the corner at the Ecuador pop-up in New Jersey, and I was like, we gotta have this one. We have got to grow this thing out and see what it becomes, baby. Look at that. That is a masterpiece of Mother Nature, if there ever was one. Now this is quite the interesting hybrid that I got from Indonesia. It is Antherium Batman crossed with Macrolobium, I believe. And when I bought it, the leaf did not have these fangs. So this is a new leaf in my care, and it's got these really cool looking fangs. It has a huge root system, so it is in this very large glass vase. Here's a very interesting corrugated leaf. This is a philodendron. Look how fat that leaf is. It's taken quite a while to rehab. I chopped it up into several different cuttings, and I shared this with somebody else. But look, it's got 2 growth points. There's one right here, and then one over there. And it put out a little dud leaf and put another one right there. So looking good, honey, looking good. Oh, honey, check out this one. Right here we got, oh look, isn't it cute? But then you get to the, I don't know what the fuck happened there. This thing's a little bit weird because 2 leaves ago it put out a leaf similar to this and I cut it off. But look at the leaf before it. Look at this one right here. I can't even show you because it's just, yeah, do you see that right there? This is Antherium Gigantium Verde. It lives just fine in low humidity. I find that whenever I try to grow a leaf in low humidity, it has done this. It could be a watering thing. It looked like it didn't fill out with water properly, so it looks like a watering stress situation. But you know what? I mean, this thing is growing so fast regardless. Here's an example of a plant that looks just fine, but I have no room for it in the main space. This is Philodendron Tortum, and it is doing just fine, honey, just fine. I just don't have any space for it. It takes up quite a bit of room, as you can see, so it's a little bit awkward to put anywhere in the main room at the moment, but this is a great basket plant for anyone that has one of these. Check out the new leaf, guys. Looks like a tentacle or something. Looks like a fern or a little palm tree. You know what? It kind of reminds me of a cycad, like the Saigo palm. Guys. Look at this. Look at this. We got mushrooms. Oh, that's disgusting. Philodendron Shironii. I believe there's 2 different forms. I forget. This might be the Monstera, the Macarena, whatever it is. There's like the, oh no, wait, there's like the there's Shironii. I don't know. You know what? Listen, this is the cooler version. I'm just saying. And it's got a new leaf coming in right there. Right there. Right there. There. Can you even see? There we go. Ooh, bitch. Here's something that's kind of nice, but also kind of not. As you can see, this is Warquianum crossed with Waterburyanum. Being a hybrid, it does grow pretty fast. It sizes up pretty fast. Problem is, it's just as fussy as a queen and maybe even a little bit fussier. So literally, as the new leaf over there is coming in, this beautiful leaf is starting to go, sadly. But, I mean, this thing is not worthy of being on display. So, bitch, you're gonna go right over here until you decide to get your life together. Coming over here, we have a hanging Philodendron gigas, or gigas, or gigas, or guagus, or jalapa ding dong. I don't even know. Got new leaf finally coming in, similar to a Melanochrysum. Oh yeah, you need some water. You need some water. I'm just gonna make it rain here. Just gonna make it rain. Just gonna make it rain. Oh, there we go. That was awful. Well, it's a rainforest in here anyway, so. And I think the last thing I'm going to show you guys is this that I got from one of my friends. Oh my god. This is Philodendron Jose Bono, and look at this monster leaf. Oh my god. This is another plant that is stable when it comes to variegation. So similar to the Paraso Verde, give it higher light, it gives you white and cream variegation. Give it lower light, it gives you light green, lime green variegation. That is spectacular. Just have it kind of awkwardly rooting in this moss. Let's see, how's it doing? I don't see any new roots yet, but this is very new at the same time. I don't see any black roots. That means they're not rotting, so that's good. And the leaf is still intact. I think that's it, guys. Oh, and then finally we have a little Monstera albo cutting up here. I went to Lochi's, which is in upstate Connecticut, and they had a huge 9-10 leaf variegated Monstera. I actually ended up cutting it, selling it off, making all my money back, plus a few extra bucks. And now I have for free this top cut that I'm going to be growing out for my friend. And oh, check it out. It's been rooting for maybe like a month or so. That is very nice. And the tip is doing well, not rotting at all. These are what the leaves look like. Pretty moderate variegation, but you know what? The mother plant was actually getting more variegated at the top, which is a really good sign. So I have high hopes for this thing. So yeah, I'm growing this out for a friend who really wanted one. I think that wraps up everything. You didn't see on camera, but I took everything out to water it and check it and all that stuff, and I had to put it all back, and it's basically a really messy puzzle. So when you take one thing out and you have to figure out, okay, how do I put it back in here? And I think I got everything. There's nothing out here. So yeah. All right, I guess that is it. You saw the behind the scenes. Couldn't show you everything because there's just so much crap in here, and not everything is that exciting. I just kind of showed you the highlights here and there. So have a great day, and peace.